Okay, so let's go ahead and find our assignment for this week. We scroll down, we click on April 14th through 17th, open up that link, and here everything is for you. The very first link that you have there is a link to a PowerPoint presentation that I made for you. It's similar to the ones I've made previously. It gives you a little overview of the week's assignments and some examples and guidance on how to handle each step of the process. The good news is that this week you're only required to do three things. You're going to read a couple of short stories, and each one of those short stories is very short. Then you're going to write a CER based on one of the short stories, all summer in a day. And then you're going to create a one-pager that includes those things listed right down there for you. You do have an alternate writing assignment that you can go with. It's right there in this link right here if you want to avoid doing the one-pager assignment. But I personally feel that the alternative assignment is a little more difficult. But if you're just really against doing the one-pager or you want to challenge yourself a little more, you can take a look at this alternate assignment right down here. Now, some of you are students who are eligible to go to CM and you typically receive modified assignments. Your instructions are right down here. You will see that you have an abbreviated or shortened assignment for this week. And you will every week moving forward, so be sure to look for that. And then down below that are all of the links for the necessary documents that you will need for this week's assignment. Your first short story, All Summer in a Day, is right here in PDF form, but just below it is a recording that we made for you. So if you don't want to read it to yourself, you can have someone else read it to you if you click on this MP3. Same thing with John Redding Goes to Sea. Here's the story itself, and then just below it is the audio file. I've also included an example CER to help you, to help ensure that you understand how to write your own CER response. And then I had the rubric for the one-pager that you're going to have to create. But let's go ahead and go up here. We'll click on this PowerPoint and take a look at the guidance that I give you through that. So, very first thing that it does is give you the overview that I've already been through. Then it gives you some guidance on how to write your CER. So your question is right up there at the top. What is one theme developed by All Summer in a Day? Support your answer with evidence, or support your answer with text evidence. So what I've done is on the right-hand side, I wrote a response to the question, what is one theme developed by John Redding Goes to Sea? So that you can use that as an example while you're writing your story on a theme developed by All Summer in a Day. So take a look at what I wrote up there in bold on the left-hand side. It says the following sentence stems can be used to guide your writing. Notice how I color-coded each blank. This will allow you to look at my example response to the right for guidance on how to handle each step. So the very first thing that you're going to need to do is identify a theme. We remember that themes are universal life lessons, but if you're confused on how to write a universal life lesson, you can look over to the right, find the red, and there's an example of how you would write out a theme. Next thing you're going to want to provide is context, or tell me what's being discussed or happening in the story when your first quote was used. So if you want guidance on how to provide context, you can look over to the right and find the stuff that's written in green, and that's an example of how to provide context. So everything is broken down for you step by step. I'm responding to the exact same question, just using the second story that you read. So this should help guide your writing, and if you need any help, just email me and I'll give you some additional help or examples. Next thing that you're going to want to do, you're going to need to create is a one-pager. I've created this rubric for you so that you know what your grade is going to be based on. There's a couple of things that I want you to notice. First of all, right here in review, I've given you some sentence stems there so that you can share your opinion in a way that makes sense. And then down at the bottom, there are a couple of things that I want you to notice. Spelling and grammar matter, and so do the aesthetics of your project. So let's take a look at what it says there for spelling and grammar. That's going to be worth 10 points. It says spelling and grammar always matter. Have someone proofread your work before you submit. That's always going to be the case. You always want to have a second pair of eyes look at your work before you turn it in. Because a lot of times it's easier for someone else to recognize your mistakes. It's a lot easier for them to recognize your mistakes than it is for you to recognize your own. And then down at the bottom is aesthetics. That's worth 20 points. So it says your work will display the time and effort you put into creating it. If your final product looks like it was just thrown together, you may receive as little as 5 points for this section. I don't expect everyone to magically become artists, but your final draft should display obvious effort. So as long as I feel like it looks like you put forth some effort, you're going to score well here. But if it looks like you've thrown things together, your grade will reflect that. So most of you have probably already created one-pagers for other classes, but let's take a look at some examples of what they look like. So here are 3 examples of one-pagers. Notice that one-pagers are typically done on paper with pens and pencils and colored pencils and markers and crayons and things like that. This is your opportunity to be creative. I know some of you love to draw. Here's your opportunity to do that. So you can do it by on paper if you want, or if you have another application that you feel like could work even better. You can email me and ask if it'll work, and if it works, I'll give you the thumbs up, and if it's something that we want to avoid, I'll let you know that. But really, all you're going to need to do is do it on paper. I think that would be the easiest way. Take a picture of it and then upload it into Canvas. Some people have been struggling with uploading things into Canvas, so let's go ahead and take a look at that process real fast. So down at the bottom of this page, you see it says Submit Completed Work here. All you have to do is click on this little blue button here, and it'll take you to the submission page. Once you're here, you just hit Submit Assignment, and then you scroll down just a little bit, and it'll probably be saved on your computer, so you just need to choose the file, double click it, and submit your assignment. But some of you are going to have multiple documents. You're going to have your CER and your one-pager. When you have multiple documents, all you have to do is hit this button that says Add Another File, and you follow the exact same process. Okay? You can put as many as you need in here, and you just choose the file and upload it for each one of your additional files. It's pretty simple. That's all you really need to do this week. If you have any questions or concerns, just email me and I'll get right back to you. Thank you.